Hello everyone, this is Dino Chris from Prehistoric Facts. This is a special episode 123. In this episode we're going to be talking about a type of sauropod dinosaur, and that sauropod dinosaur is Mamenchisaurus. So here's an artist rendition of Mamenchisaurus. Now Mamenchisaurus in Greek or Latin means Mamenchi lizard. Length is 80 feet or 24 meters, height 30 feet or 9 meters, weight 12 tons or 24,000 pounds, lived 160 to 150 million years ago in the late Jurassic period, and it was found in China by Yang Zhongyan, 1954. The last name's kind of hard to pronounce, but you get the idea. Chinese paleontologist. So in the upper left corner, we actually have here is a map of China, and where Yangchuanosaurus was found is pretty much found in the southwestern portion, right around towards where you see, like, say, kind of towards these smaller countries right around here, where you see Bangladesh and all that those sorts of places. And here's a skeleton artist rendition of the skeleton, and so this one actually shows the neck up higher, the head up higher a little bit, but I'll actually get into the details about the neck in a little bit. But so this is actually by Scott Hartman, and so Scott Hartman makes really nice artist renditions of dinosaur skeletons and gives you the silhouette of like where the muscles and skin would actually go, and so you actually get to see where that silhouette of like the rest of the body is. More information about Mamenchisaurus. It is part of the sauropod family, and so in a group of sauropods called Eusauropoda. And so this is actually early sauropods. So these are actually kind of almost like diplodocids, but not really. These are actually kind of like medium-sized sauropods, so not very large. But the neck of Mamenchisaurus is 46 feet long. So that is a very long neck, and it has 19 neck vertebrae. That makes it one of the longest neck in relation to body size out of any sauropod, which is incredible. So Mamenchisaurus actually holds the record for longest neck in relation to body size out of any sauropod dinosaur. So there you go. And of course, Mamenchisaurus, like all sauropods, is a herbivore. And you saw that picture there in the bottom right corner on the previous slide of the skeleton of Mamenchisaurus showing the head going up high. Well, actually, Mamenchisaurus's neck would be horizontal, not diagonal or vertical. So, because there's no evidence to support that it had its neck up high in the air. It actually probably kept its neck horizontal, so it would be sweeping the ground most of the time, having its head go side to side, looking for low ferns and cycads. So the environment of where Mamenchisaurus actually lived in, it was warm and humid, more moisture than in the Triassic. Since the Triassic, it was a little bit drier, and there were no flowers and there was no grass during this particular time in the Jurassic period, but there are ferns and cycads, and there's plenty of trees, of course. And the other animals that were actually living around Mamenchisaurus, there were mammals, amphibians, reptiles like your crocodiles and pterosaurs. But of course there were other dinosaurs there as well, other sauropods, other plant-eating animals like some Chinese stegosaurs, and even some nodosaurs, some nodosaurs. And the predators that lived alongside Mamenchisaurus, Yangchuanosaurus, and maybe Sinraptor. Sinraptor could actually be in this particular time when Mamenchisaurus was around. But Yangchuanosaurus does actually fit the bill of actually being the predator that would actually possibly take on Mamenchisaurus. And here's an artist rendition of Yangchuanosaurus. So it looks a very fearsome predator, almost related to Allosaurus, and so it's got that Allosaurus type of body, but it is actually smaller in size than Allosaurus. But you get the idea. I'll possibly do a Yangchuanosaurus special episode sometime in the future. They'll possibly be in like in 2019, coming into next year. The extinction of Mamenchisaurus, it was probably due to climate change. Many kinds of climate changes, like sea levels were beginning to rise at that particular time in the late Jurassic, and it would be an unknown extinction because in the late Jurassic period, there is like almost like a 20 million year gap that we actually trying to that's paleontologists are trying to figure out what happened to some of these sauropods and other types of dinosaurs that went extinct in the late Jurassic, and ultimately having like these Silurisaurian predators actually start to show up in the Cretaceous period and all that sorts of stuff. But I think probably the type of extinction that would actually have caused the sauropods to be in decline was the first flowering plants. So the first flowering plants were beginning to appear in the early Cretaceous period, and so that's where you actually do see some of those plants start to dominate. And the sauropods just went in decline. It's because they could not actually eat some of those flowers, because if you're going to eat flowers, you need to chew them up, and sauropods could not chew, and so they swallow their food whole, and they let their gut do all the work. And so the extinction was probably due to changing plant life. And here's a world map of the Jurassic period. So where Mamenchisaurus actually lived, it was actually right around in the upper right area of Earth there. So this is where you can pretty much see China and some other land and some parts of the land there, like because India is all the way over here connected with Africa and Australia, and so you actually see that India was not connected to Asia at that particular time. Then the next episode would actually be in December 13th, 2018, and that'll be a Q&A episode. So if you got any questions about dinosaurs or any other prehistoric life, feel free to email me at dinochris71@gmail.com, or just go on my Facebook page, Prehistoric Facts of Dino Chris. Like the page, you get your posted questions in the comments section or even on the wall. Remember, keep your questions short to the point, and don't send me the same questions over and over and over again, and don't actually try to make it look like it's a different question by switching up the animals. Please don't do that. I can tell that it's the same question, but even though if it's a different person trying to ask that question, that's fine. I can actually answer for you. And you could also follow me on Twitter at CSGRALL. It's my Twitter page. I post pretty cool stuff on there. Also, take care of the people around you, and also for your younger people out there, to make sure to listen to your parents, your teachers, and your guardians. It's the best motivation you could have for good education. It's very important to have a good education. So with a good education, you get a good job in the future. That's it for now, and I'll see you guys next time.